Hey all, welcome to ShareTrek. This is Raj here. Today I'm here to eat humble pie. Well, I'm referring to my swing trade idea with Verve that I published on 2nd of December. I still believe my call was correct, but I need the market to believe the same in order to succeed. Unfortunately, that is not happening. Let me explain. Let's get started. Welcome back, friends. I'm referring to my video published on 2nd December, speculating that either Verve has received or will receive FDA questions in the next few days regarding the hold that the FDA placed on the IND enabling application for VERVE-101. I had made a swing trade call where I said that Verve share price should go up, but the bull channel that we had drawn has been breached today. Let me just take you to TradingView to explain what my original thesis was, and then we'll take it further. So here we are in the TradingView platform looking at the charts of Verve. And on December 2nd, when I made this chart, I had an intact bull channel out here. And I was speculating that we are going to bounce off this bull channel and then potentially move upward in order to fill the gap out here. And my logic was that because VERVE-101 is already in clinical trials, it's called Heart-1 clinical trial, phase 1 clinical trial in New Zealand and UK, there is not going to be any nasty surprises in store, and questions, if any, from FDA would be readily answered by Verve. And therefore, I felt that the steep drop in price that we saw here with the news that there's going to be a hold placed on VERVE-101 IND enabling, I thought that that was a bit misplaced. And I was expecting that as we have seen the improvement in the share prices, it's going to go up. And FDA will probably have given the questions to Verve probably already by now, or maybe a couple of days from then. And it so happens that on December 2nd, the day that I published the video, Verve had received the questions from FDA, and they did file with the SEC, giving details of what the questions are and what Verve is doing about it. So today in this video, I'm going to talk about the questions that were raised by FDA and why I think that still what has happened here in this chart is an overreaction. I think that we are just going to recover in the next few days, unless I'm horribly mistaken. And I would look forward to your feedback also. Please put your feedback in the comments below, and we'll take it from there. I put a link to the FDA letter asking specific information from Verve. In fact, actually, I have put the link to the SEC filing by Verve, which contains all the questions that were asked by FDA of Verve in order to progress VERVE-101 to IND enabling. And I think you should check it out in the description. You can just go and have a look at it personally and form your own opinion. I do not see anything very onerous being imposed by FDA. Remember, VERVE-101 is already undergoing phase 1 clinical trials in New Zealand and UK presently. What the FDA is asking is just 5 things of Verve now in order to advance the IND application for VERVE-101. Those 5 things are the following. Number 1, FDA wants information from Verve that outlines differences, if any, between human and non-human cells as it pertains to VERVE-101 data. I have no reason to believe that UK and New Zealand jurisdictions wouldn't have asked this question. So, and I think VERVE-101 should satisfactorily answer this question. I don't see any major problems out here. World bodies have always been concerned about avoiding germline edits. So the second question from FDA is seeking assurance from Verve regarding risks of germline edits as it pertains to VERVE-101. I feel that Verve would have definitely taken care to make sure that none of their edits were to the germline. So again, here I don't have much of a concern. I think Verve should be able to answer satisfactorily. The third question is that Verve wants data pertaining to off-target analysis in hepatocyte cell types. Now, this is the only area where I'm a bit concerned, because we all know that off-base edits have been a big problem overall with the CRISPR technology. So we'll have to wait and see what happens regard to 3. But again, this is something that would not have escaped the clinical trials in UK and New Zealand. And the fourth point that FDA is looking for is it's asked for data from the ongoing clinical trial in New Zealand and UK. I think this is a very positive factor because the Heart-1 clinical trial is already in progress. So FDA would potentially get information ahead of schedule because FDA would be getting the clinical trial data even before it is enabling out here. So it's a positive factor. And the fact that UK and New Zealand authorities have already seen the data indicates to me that FDA should not find any shocker in that. Now, coming to the fifth and the final requirement from FDA, that FDA has requested that VERVE modify the trial protocol in the United States to incorporate additional contraceptive measures and to increase the length of the staggering interval between dosing of participants. So this is something that VERVE could definitely respond to, in my opinion. When I look at the price chart today, I see that the market has broken below the bullish support line. Let's go back to the trading view. So if you look at the chart here, we have already broken down below the bullish channel that was being formed. Fortunately, we got a support at 20.82 and we bounced off that support. I still think this is a knee-jerk reaction. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I expect this thing to improve unless I'm mistaken in any of my assumption about those 5 questions that FDA had asked. This is how I'm thinking. There is always a possibility for any therapy that FDA may place a hold and ask questions. This is not the first time it has happened. It has happened for many companies. Holds have been put in place, questions have been asked, replies have been received, and hold has been removed, and therapies may have been allowed to proceed to the next stage. If the clinical trials in New Zealand and UK were not progressing for VERVE-101, I would have attributed more risk. However, I don't think UK and New Zealand are weak jurisdictions. VERVE may produce meaningful data from Heart-1 trials in UK and New Zealand in second half of 2023. It's a way off, but whatever data it has right now, it would have shared with the UK and New Zealand, and they would have had a look at it, and if there was anything amiss, they would have already pointed it out. So I don't expect any surprises out there. However, the fact that FDA wants to see available data from Heart-1 clinical trials is very encouraging. Germline edits is a major concern worldwide, so I do not expect VERVE to have progressed the therapy that causes germline edit. That is absolutely the basic. And the only area where I'm concerned, as I mentioned, is the off-target edits. Then again, would not the UK and New Zealand authorities have looked at that before allowing clinical trials? So that's the question I have in my mind. I'm still thinking that VERVE stock prices should recover later this week as the market digests the implications and recalibrates the risk. Now, that brings me back to a lesson that I keep learning. Perfect technicals can be trumped by fundamentals, and also market participants can respond unpredictably and damage any trading strategy based on logic. Then there is also the possibility that my logic is flawed and one of all those 5 FDA requests is a showstopper. So we'll wait and see what happens. I'm very curious to know what you guys think about this. Curious to know your thoughts. Well, friends, that's all I have for today. I did take a look at the trading view during the market hours, and it was looking pretty depressing. So I prefer not to look at the price charts at times like this. There will be tough times, but always there have been better times coming afterwards. So the market has generally moved in the upward direction historically, and it will be the same again this time. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. So we just have to go through these tough times in order to see better days and gain profits. So I'm just going to make sure that I keep my willpower and motivation on, and I do not let myself do any knee-jerk reactions and do any stupid trades at this point of time by getting spooked looking at the market. So I'm staying away from the live market feed, and I guess each one of you have your own coping strategy. Please put what you think in the comments below. I would be really curious to know how you're managing your mind and expectations in these tough times. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.